Hey guys, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, November 25th. It is 1:59 right now. Our scheduled session is set for 2 o'clock, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish setting this room up real quick, and then we'll get started shortly with our mentoring session for the day. One more thing. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, so I'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And we will get started shortly. So good thing I figured out how to connect my laptop so I can show you guys. I can show you guys how to use NinjaTrader. All right, so I'll just get a few moments for people to make their way in. I know some people are going to straggle in a little late, but it's all good. Just gonna make sure I have everything ready to go. All right, we'll give it another 2 minutes and then we'll get started with the session. All right, guys, perfect. So looks like whoever planned to be here is here. If you know anybody that wants to rewatch this later, feel free to send the link. The replay will be available on the YouTube. So once we're done with this, you guys can always replay it and review it later. But we should get started soon because we want to make sure we cover everything with the time that we have for today. So welcome everybody. Today is Monday, November 25th. It is 2:04 right now. Our scheduled mentoring session was for 2 o'clock. Welcome to the first day of our futures trading mastery class. This program is probably going to last probably about, I'd say 7 weeks. We're going to go through the course pretty much in order. So today we're probably going to cover module 1 and module 2. these are the basics of like everything that we're using. So we'll cover the Discord platform, we'll cover the Zoom platform, TradingView, NinjaTrader, Tradovate, the broker I use, NinjaTrader. We'll basically go through each module one by one. I'll cover everything in detail so that you guys understand how everything works. And then once we're done with the basics here, starting next week, we'll cover the indicators. So week one this week, we'll cover module 1 and 2. Week 2, we'll probably cover module 3, all of the indicators in detail. Week 4, we'll cover module 4, strategy types, directional strategies, sideways strategies, breakout strategies. And then we'll combine that with module 5, where we'll cover the directional strategies in detail. I don't know if we'll cover all of them in that same day, but we'll try. The following week, we'll cover sideways strategies. We'll go over each of these strategies, and I'll go over them in detail with examples. Following week, we'll follow the breakout strategies here. We'll cover this stuff. And then the week after that, we'll cover risk management and trade psychology. I'm going to add another one in here, actually module 11. So I'll probably cover module 11 as well. This is trading as a business. I think this is going to be the most beneficial for a lot of you guys here who want to do this for a living, right? Trading like a business is, I'll basically teach you guys how to treat it as a business. So like registering your LLC and stuff like that. I never really went through this in detail with like helping people how to do it. A lot of people have been asking me to help with that, so maybe I'll include that as a service in the future where I'll walk you through how to, and I can just do it for you, set it up as an LLC. Because if you guys are not familiar with like how that works, basically when you run your trading as a business, you can start to write off stuff, right? So like, for example, if you pay for a subscription, if you pay for TradingView, if you pay for profit counts, like evals and stuff like that, all of those expenses can be deducted from your tax liability. So say, for example, we'll just be conservative. We'll see you made about like 50,000 in profit from trading. Typically, you'd have to pay 60% long-term gains on that, and 40% short-term gains. Instead of paying that in taxes, you'll be able to deduct, any costs that you put into trading. So if you buy a new laptop, you buy a new computer, you buy anything for your office, you buy subscriptions, there's so many things that you can deduct from it with regard to to your trading. So I'll cover this at the very end. And I think that'll be it. So like basically this is going to run for about maybe 6 or 7 weeks where we can cover a lot of this stuff in detail. There's a lot of stuff to cover. But by the end of this, you should be able to, if you have no experience trading, you should be able to start trading. If you have experience trading, you should be able to copy my trades that I take during the live sessions. And if you're on that next level, you can do both, right? You can copy my trades, you can trade on your own, you can do the basics and understand how to execute trade and stuff like that. But that's the main goal of this masterclass. So the main goal of this masterclass is basically to hold your hand and take you guys from A to Z, from no knowledge to enough knowledge to carry yourself in the market. So that's just the basic overview. So we're going to start off with module 1. The way that I'll format this lesson is I'll cover the specific module, and then at the very end of that, we'll go over questions. If you guys don't have any questions, or if we cover all the questions, we'll go over to the next module, and then same thing. And then at the very end, so basically at the end of module 2, I'll have a Q&A at the end. I'm not sure how long this will take. Probably shouldn't take that long because we're going to cover a lot of this stuff. A lot of these things overlap. Like TradingView right here, this will overlap with the stuff down here. NinjaTrader, this will overlap with this down here. Tradovate, same thing down here. And then just basic stuff with regard to my personal broker, Apex, which is and I'll give you guys the pros and cons between these two funding companies. These are like the two main ones I use. So you don't really need anything else other than this. Once you guys have pretty much mastered, trading and you're having consistent profits, then at that point, you can add on other prop firms. But realistically, all you need is really Apex and Tradeify. These are both trustworthy. I've been using Apex for about a year now. They've been paying out pretty solidly and consistently. Tradeify, I've just been using them for about a couple months now. I've gotten about 2 payouts from them, and they're pretty straightforward as well. So no problems with any of these here. Again, I'm only going to recommend companies that I actually use. I'm not going to recommend some random company that maybe they're paying some sort of referral or something like that, I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to refer stuff that I'm actually using, that I trust, and I know will pay out. Um, but okay, so we'll start off with module one here for Discord. So starting off with module one here, let me see if I can open this. So when you open module one, this is what it's going to look like. For module one, it's going to be Discord platform. If you guys are not familiar with Discord, this is what the Discord looks like. So basically, all of the communication happens through Discord. If you want to private message me, you can private message me. If you want to talk in the chat, you can talk in the chat. We'll go over each section here and just go over everything in an overview so that you guys can understand how the Discord works. So this is what the Discord looks like. We'll start up here from the very beginning. So this is the premium access channel. Basically, if you want to upgrade to premium access, you can do this. Just a reminder, everything is available for completely free right now. We've never done this before where we've offered this for free. The packages here they range from 125 a month to 250 a month. This is completely free. So we've never done this before. And I was just feeling generous this year that, to make things accessible, because everybody has the same excuse, right? With trading. Everybody wants to trade and everybody wants to make money and everybody wants to have an easy life, but their excuse is they can't afford it. They don't have the time for it. There's so many excuses that will go. So I made it completely free. There's no excuses that will fly here. I made it completely free. You'll have a whole month to do whatever you want with the Discord or the indicators or the tools and stuff like that. So basically, if you want to have access to this, just go to Premium Access, click on this link here, and then here, let me show you guys real quick. So open a private window so it doesn't open anything. All right, so this is what it looks like when you get to the checkout page. Go to coupon code, type in trial, apply. It's completely free. So for the first month, it's completely free. If you guys don't like it or if you don't want to continue, just cancel. There's nothing to keep you there's nothing stopping you from trying it out and seeing if it's for you, right? Trading isn't for everybody, but it can be. If you put in the work and you actually try it out, then you can see if it works out for you. But anyways, so this is the first channel. It's a premium access. It's pretty straightforward. This is where you can upgrade if you want to, if you're on the free platform or anything like that. Once you scroll down over here, this is just the welcome page. So basically whenever someone wants to, or when someone joins a Discord, you just have to put something in here, right? Introductions, and then they'll check you in and then you'll be in the Discord. Once you do that, scroll down here. This is the frequently asked questions. For the FAQs, basically whenever I get questions, I'll just put stuff in here. So a question that we get a lot is, where do we check news? If you want to have the calendars that we use, you can just go here, and then there's two different options here. We have Forex Factory, where we check the news. And then we also have My FX Book. They're both good. It's just whichever one you want to use. If you want to look up news, that's where you can find it. Going down the list here, if you want to know which copier we use Flowbot's Replicano. There's a link right there with the promo code. Futures company right here. There'll also be another tab here, so you don't have to go directly from there. There'll be a specific tab for that stuff. But if you're just on the Discord, this is where the FAQs will be. Like I said earlier, if you want to trade as a business, I'll recommend whatever credit cards that I use. I use Chase for all my business banking and personal banking, so I have a specific promo code here where you get some sort of promo when you sign up. And the other funding companies I use are down here as well. So that's pretty much the FAQs. You get on to funding companies, it's the same thing. It's what's in the FAQs, but I just put them down here in a specific category if you guys want to just look at them directly. If you go down right here to strategies, this will cover pretty much all the strategies that we apply. So there's a whole playlist for it right here. If you click on this button, it'll give you all the strategies in a list. But again, it's going to be in the course, so it's going to be a lot easier to just go here and then click on the one that you want to follow. So going down the Discord platform, we've covered that. Right here under the premium section, live Zoom links. This is where the Zoom links are going to be posted pretty much whenever I go live, whether it's a live trading session or a mentoring session like we're in right now. So this is where all the Zoom links will be posted. Right here under mentorship, last year we had a mentorship incubator. So I didn't hold one this year. I might have one next year. But earlier this year, we had an incubator here. Basically, everyone, we just followed everyone's stats and how everyone was trading. And basically, everyone was updating here so that we could follow and keep everybody accountable. So we had everybody doing journaling so that we knew exactly where they were messing up so we can fix that. And I think everyone did pretty good. Everyone who's in here or who was in here in the mentorship did pretty good. And they're pretty consistent so far. So this isn't really activated. It's not active as much as it was before because we haven't started a new mentorship group. If I start one for 2025, then it'll just run around again. Going down here to announcements, this is where all the announcements are posted. Basically, the links for everything. If there's any updates, I will post everything under announcements. Live trading sessions, this is where you can review any of the previous live trading sessions. They'll be posted here. Previous live trading results. So every week I post the profits for everybody in the group. All the videos will be posted here. Live mentoring sessions. This is where all the links for the previous mentoring sessions will be posted. Swing positions, this isn't up anymore. I was thinking about giving signals out, but I just don't really swing trade, so I don't use this anymore. This is probably going to be deleted. Going down to profits, if you look down to official profits, this right here is going to post all of my trades. So all of the official trades I take, all of the official profits I make, they will be posted here. So all of my wins, these are my trades from today. We had two trades that happened today. We had the breakout that happened here. It was a full TP. Unfortunately, I didn't take the trade because the last candle before open spiked very heavily right before open, so I just skipped it. But it did hit full TP. And this trade right here I did take, which was a breakout V3 continuation. I took it for partial because what happened was I was going for the full 30-30, but then my stop loss got moved in profit. So when that happened, it closed me out right here. I was supposed to lock in 1,500 per account. I locked in 450. It's supposed to be 500 total, but I got some slippage. So this is where all my profits and trades are posted. So whatever I take on the live session, they'll be posted here. So for example, on Friday, I took a couple trades right here and I took the breakout. So if you ever want to see my stats for the week, you can just pull this up. This was from Friday. These are all the hedge accounts that I traded. And then for the breakout V3 continuation over here, I took that trade as well. And these are the profits for those accounts. So these are going to be all of the official profits and trades that I take on the live sessions. If you go down to the next tab, it's going to be team profits. This will be everyone's profits from our group. So if you want to see who posts profits, whoever is consistent, you'll see here, Jamie's been pretty consistent lately. These are her profits she locked in this morning. And Johnny over here as well. And you'll see who's consistent. You know, Jamie's posting profits pretty much every day. You got Johnny here. You got Jonathan here. You got Shannon here. You'll see who's here. It's like whoever's posting profits every week, you'll know that they're pretty consistent. Some people don't post profits, but for the most part, you can see who's consistent and for the most part, who isn't posting as much as they used to. Team milestones over here. This is going to be all of the milestones for everybody in the group. So like whenever someone gets funded, they send their certificate in. You can see a lot of people here who have gone funded over the years. So we have Andre here. Most recently, Jamie right there. She's the one who's been posting profits. These are my accounts right here as well. We have Oscar here. And you can see all the people who've made their milestones. So we always showcase our members here to show you guys that, you know, it's possible. Because a lot of people will trading will be hard in the beginning, but you'll see there's a light at the end of the tunnel when you start to see everyone else over here do well over the months and the years. Going down here to the community section. So going over to team chat, if you guys have any questions or you have anything that you want to talk about, feel free to hop into here. You can just type in here. I'm usually pretty active. So if anybody has any questions, I'll usually respond to people who are on here. If I don't respond, other people will respond to you. So if you have anything that you want to talk about, if you have any questions about trading, just anything in general, you can type in here the team chat and people will respond to you. Right here under trade questions, same thing. If you have any trade specific questions, you can put them here. Sometimes people just go in the team chat, so it doesn't really matter where you put it in. People will respond to you in either one. This is the funding broker. So if you have any questions regarding funding or brokers, you can put your questions here. But again, like I said, everyone goes in the team chat. I don't think people really go into these other sections here. Suggestions, if you guys have anything here, you can put suggestions here and we can make changes. Going down to this is the scam alert, guys. So just a reminder, like I'll never message you. I'll never message you initially. It's not that I don't care to message you, but there's a ton of people in the group and I don't have time to message everybody. So like if you message me, I will respond to you, but I'll never message you first. You can see here, people will post pages who are scammers, basically pretending to be me. So my username is Kodi Kai Trades. It's just Kodi Kai Trades. There's no spaces, there's no hyphens, there's no periods, there's no extra S's. Right here, you can see it's Kodi Kai Trades with like 3 S's. It's not me. This is another one here. It's Kodi Kai Trades with the 1. That's not me. It's just Kodi Kai Trades, no spaces, no periods, no extra S's, no numbers, none of that. And if you guys ever feel like there's someone who's trying to scam you, just take a screenshot of their name and then post it in here to alert everybody else so that other people don't get scammed. This is a scammer who's been caught. So this is the guy who's probably messaging you. Other than that, I mean, I'll try as hard as I can to prevent you guys from getting scammed, but for the most part, I'll never ask you for any money. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you for Bitcoin. I'll never ask you for anything, really. If you guys ever want to sign up for anything, go directly through the website. Don't send any money or crypto or anything to anybody who asks you, because 100% of the time, it's going to be a scammer for the most part. Okay, so going down right here to the trading journal. So this is the trading journal section. If you guys are ever curious to see how our trades are doing for the year, just go over here, click on this spreadsheet. When you click on that spreadsheet, this is going to come up, and this will cover all of my trades for the year. So I document every single trade that I take. There's a screenshot for every trade here. So basically from January up until November, all the trades here are covered. If you want to look at the trades from 2023, all the trades from 2023 are documented here as well. These are breakout stats. This stuff is like getting like updated, but it hasn't been updated in a long time. You can see here the breakout stats haven't been updated since June. And the hedge accounts over here, this hasn't been updated yet either. So main thing is going to be the 2024 stats and the 2023 stats. And if you guys want to just copy this and have your own journal where you can document your own trades, just go to the blank one right here and then make a copy of it. And then you can have your own stats where you can track all of your trades for the year. Going down the list, let's see. So this stuff isn't really updated anymore. We used to like document every trade like by itself, but it was just too much work where I would document it. So I don't really document these anymore. The main one that's updated is going to be the 2024 stats. And you can see pretty much every trade I've taken for the year so far. Going down lower, and this isn't going to be open to you guys. This is only for the admins. So that pretty much covers all of the sections and channels for the Discord channel. If you guys have any questions regarding that, feel free to chime in, and then we can answer any questions here regarding the Discord. But it's pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. Oh, so one thing that you guys want to do as well, I know some of you guys don't see all of these tabs here. Make sure that when you guys do get into the Discord, click on this drop down and then click on show all channels right here. Because if you don't have that, it's only going to show you what's been active, which are like obviously these right here. You probably missed all the announcements. So make sure to click this drop down and click show all channels. And that will show you all of the channels that are available. So, all right. Other than that, looks like we are done with this module. So we have one question over here from Talanji. Talanji's asking, you mentioned this month being free. Is that for new signups or all current members? It's only for new signups, Talanji. It's just a free trial. So like you'll have a free month, and then if you want to continue, it'll charge you the following month, or if you want to cancel, you can cancel. So it's only for people who are trying it out. Yeah, no problem. All right, so other than that, guys, that's it for that module right there. Let's move on to the second module. So this one's going to be even more self-explanatory. Okay, so for this one right here, I can't really show you the Zoom platform because I'm on Zoom right now. So I can't really, let me see if I can move this over. Yeah, no, it doesn't even show. So I can't really show you the Zoom platform, but the Zoom platform is basically where we have all of our live streams. There's not really much that you need to know about the Zoom platform anyways. It's just there for streaming. So if you guys want to download Zoom, you'll download it from here. If you do try to open the link from the Discord, it's going to require that you download it anyways. So this is self-explanatory. We'll move on to the next module, module 1.3. So module 1.3 is going to be TradingView. So I'll just go over quickly what TradingView is. I'm not going to go over all the each specific tools and steps here. This is TradingView. So TradingView is where we pretty much do all of our analysis. This is a blank chart. If you don't have any of the tools or you don't have anything on your chart, this is what a chart would look like. For you guys that are brand new traders, these little sticks on the chart are called candlesticks. So these candlesticks indicate the movement of price per candle or per minute. We're on the 1 minute chart here. So each candle here is going to be a 1 minute candlestick. So like basically how much price is moved for that specific minute. If you're looking on, say, the 1 hour chart, each candle here is going to cover an hour of movement. If you go on the daily chart, each candle is going to show you movement for each day. We'll go over like the specifics for TradingView a little later. We have a whole module for that down here under module 2.0. So I just wanted to show you guys, this is the TradingView platform. So this is what the module looks like. If you want to download it, install it, etc., you just click on this link here. It'll give you access to pretty much everything on there. When you click on this link, it'll give you a free promo as well, where you can get a free month of TradingView. You can use TradingView completely free, but if you want to use all the functions, then you'd have to upgrade to some sort of paid tier on TradingView here. So that's just a basic overview of like what we use to chart. And we'll go over this stuff in detail once we get to module 2.0. All right, next module here is going to be the NinjaTrader Platform. So NinjaTrader is the platform where I execute my trades. For a beginner, if you're a brand new beginner, you don't really need to use the NinjaTrader Platform. You can just trade directly on TradingView. So again, I'm going to go over that stuff in detail once we get to that point. Again, I'll go over the details of the NinjaTrader platform as well. Once we get to module 2.1, we'll go over the details of like how to execute trades, how to add your account, stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you guys that NinjaTrader is the platform that I personally execute my trades. You don't have to use NinjaTrader. The one problem with NinjaTrader is that it's only for PC. So if you're trading on a Mac, you're probably not going to be able to use NinjaTrader. You can use the web platform, but at that point, you might as well just use TradingView because it just doesn't make sense to use the web platform for NinjaTrader. So most of you guys who are not on a PC, you can't use NinjaTrader. I had to buy a separate laptop just to use NinjaTrader, but we'll go over that stuff in detail once we get to module 2.1. So again, NinjaTrader is where I execute my trades. You don't have to execute them on there, but it is going to be useful if you can, especially if you want to copy your trades in the future. Module 1.5. So module 1.5 is going to be Tradovate. So Tradovate is going to be your alternative to NinjaTrader. Again, you can trade on TradingView directly, or you can trade on Tradovate. Again, Tradovate is a web platform, so you can use it on Mac. The only thing here is that it's not going to be as intuitive as NinjaTrader. So again, TradingView is where we do all of the charting, all the analysis. NinjaTrader is just where I execute my trades. And Tradeovate's the same thing. It's just where you execute trades, but I would still do all my analysis on TradingView. Let me pull it over here. This is my Tradovate platform. So I have my personal account right here. I'm gonna log into that. I'll go over the details again, how this is used a little later. I'm just gonna go into the simulation. I'm not gonna use my live account, of course. And this is what it will, this is what Tradovate looks like. So it looks very similar to TradingView. That's why I would say, you can just use TradingView, but if you want to use Tradovate, we'll go over that again in detail once we get to module 2.2. I'll show you guys how to enter trades. I can't even show you how to enter trades right now because the market's closed. So I wouldn't be able to show you anything. So we'll get to that point probably in the next 30 minutes. Once we get to that point there, I'll be able to execute some dummy trades, and then you guys can see how they apply and how they execute on the actual platform. All right, so we're done with that. And let's move on to 1.6. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna grab some water and I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back. So we are now on module 1.6. Let me see if there's any questions here before we get any further. Viv is asking, how do we get access to the indicators on TradingView? I'll go over that shortly, Viv, once we get to module 2.0. Because once we get to the TradingView platform, I can show you pretty much where everything is on there. Let's see, Solange said it's cheaper to upgrade TradingView through the website and not the app, especially for discounts like Black Friday. Yeah. So if you guys are looking to upgrade your TradingView platform, I would do it on the computer, right? Because the computer is going to give you like all of the deals. Not, I didn't even know you could even upgrade on the app. So just make sure that you guys do it on the computer, the web platform, to get the discount. So the discount right now for Black Friday, it happens every year. It's 70% off, plus you get 1 free month. So I buy it pretty much every year. I think I have access until like 2029 because I keep buying it every year, and then I get like a full year plus a free month. So I'm probably not going to buy it again this year because I have it for so long already. But if you guys do want access to it, I do have a promo code for you if you want to use it. It's on the website too. So if you go over here and you go to the, oh, it's right here. So if you go to getting started right here, you click on this link right here. It has step-by-step orders here. So there's a step-by-step order here to use this link, and then you'll get a free 30 days, and then you'll get a discounted upgrade. And then if you use a Black Friday, you basically get a free month plus another free month plus a discount. So if you guys are interested, there is a little trick there. I'm not sure if it still works. Like this trick, I found this out like I think like 6 years ago. So I'm not sure if it still works the same way, but a lot of people are still using it. So I'm pretty sure it still does. But yeah, I think those are all the questions for now. And then now we are going to move forward with module 1.6. So for module 1.6, this just explains what personal broker I use, which is NinjaTrader. You guys have basically three options if you guys want to trade for like actual money. So you have 1.6, and we'll just cover these all together. So you have 1.6, which is a personal account, which is going to be your actual money that you'll be risking. I don't really recommend this for very, very beginners. Like if you already know that you're profitable and you're consistent, then okay, trade your own money. But if you're not consistent yet, then I don't recommend you trading your own money yet. I'll show you how to open a demo account on TradingView so you can trade directly on here. Because obviously you want to make sure you're making money first before you risk your own money. You can do everything here completely free. Like I said, you don't have to pay for anything. You can just play around with the tools, with the platform, and you can see if you make money just playing around with it before you actually risk your own money. So for me, I use all three of these. I have my personal account, which is what I run the hedge fund on, which is NinjaTrader. I trade the account has about 12,000 in it right now. And I started that with like 10,000. So I start with 10,000, and then every time at the end of the week, I usually withdraw. So like every week I'll make about like, I would say like maybe 5 to 10,000, depending on like what I'm trading. If it's a good week, it'll be like 5 to 10,000. If it's a bad week, it'll probably be break even or like slightly in the red. But for the most part, on my personal account right now for the hedge fund, I have it about 10,000, and I only leave it at that because that's where I pull the stats from. So I just kind of leave it at that point because whenever we have a new client who joins a hedge fund, they usually start with like about a $10,000 minimum, so I can show them a realistic gain that they could have with the account if they started with that amount. But I'm still risking more compared to a normal person. So my personal account, I'm using NinjaTrader for 1.7 over here. If you guys are not familiar with funding companies, Apex Trader Funding is one of the funding companies that I use and I recommend. I recommend it because it's super cheap to open an account with them. So if you're not familiar with funding companies, basically what you'll do is you'll open an account with them, you'll pay them up, you'll basically pay them a evaluation fee, which is really cheap. It's like 10 or 40 bucks. It's like it's under $100. But if you do pass that evaluation, then you'll have funds to trade. And then once you have that funded account, then at the end of each, basically at the end of each 2 weeks, you'll be able to withdraw about 90% of the profits. So you keep 100% of the profits up to a certain amount. I think it's not sure how much, but I think it's like 20,000 or so for a 300K account. And then from there, the split becomes 90-10. So whatever profits you make, you can keep 90% of it, and Apex keeps 10% of it. So this is like one option that you guys can use. If you guys are new to trading, this is like an option that you can have where you don't have to risk your own money. You know, you're pretty much you're capped at a ceiling. So like if you're trading your own account, you know, if you start your account with a couple of $1,000s, you can lose all that money, and you're not going to get that back. With Apex, depending on the account size that you use, you can start with a $50,000 account, a $100,000 account, but it's not really that big of a size. So like they'll sell you on this marketing that you're going to get a $50,000 account, but really your risk or what you can have, and I'll show you real quick, Apex. So they have a couple options here. This is Apex Trader Funding. It says 50,000, but it's not really a $50,000 account, right? So I don't want you to get super excited and be like, oh, I'm getting like a free 50K or a free 25K. The real amount that you're getting is your trailing drawdown. So it says 25K, but really this is how much you can lose. You can only lose 1,500. So it's still worth it because the promo is 80% off. So if you want a $25,000 account, it's 147 times 80%. So you're paying about 30 bucks for this much risk. You can risk 1,500. Like you can lose 1,500, but you're not responsible for that. You're only responsible for what you paid for, which is 30 bucks. So I think, you know, this is obviously a pretty good deal. You only pay 30 bucks to do the eval. If you make 1,500, then okay, you get the funded account, and then all the profits after that, you get to keep 90% of it. Initially, you'll keep 100% of it, but then once you've taken all of the reserves, then you're entitled to 90% of the profits. So you're basically you're paying 30 bucks to trade it upwards to, it says 25K, but again, don't be fooled by that. You're only entitled to 1,500. So again, if you want to do a bigger account, it says 50K, but you're really entitled to 2,500. It says 75K, but you're entitled to 2,750. For me, I have 20 300K accounts. So I have, what is that? So I basically have 6 million in funding. Like that's the number, but that's not the real number, because the real number here, if you look at 300K, my trailing drawdown is only 7,500. So realistically, this is how much I can lose. So it says I have 6 million in funding, but realistically it's 7,500 times 20, which is still a lot. It's 150,000 in trade funding. This is 657, but again, if you have the discount, it's I think it's like 50 bucks right now for the bigger accounts. And don't get too excited and do the big one, guys, because this will take you forever to pass. When I first passed this, it took me about almost 3 months to pass it. If you're doing a smaller account like the 25K or the 50K, you can pass that within a week. You're gonna have smaller money to trade, but you'll pass it real quick, and then you'll have easier trading capital to trade with. So you'll get it pretty much quicker. So if you guys want if you guys have any questions regarding this, feel free to hop into the chat, or you can message me privately, and I can answer your questions for you. This is the first option. The first option would be Apex, and then we'll go over the next option. So you'll see the difference between these two once I explain Tradeify to you. Let's see. Talanji is asking, what would you advise as the best account size to start and way to scale up? Well, you can't really scale, so you have to start with, you'll be stuck with whatever you start with. So if you start with a 50K account, you're not going to be able to scale from there. You're going to be stuck with the 50K. That's how I started. So initially, I started with the 50K. I started with the 50K account, and I was like, man, this is easy. So I got 20 funded accounts with 50K, and I passed that within a week. I was like, okay, this is super easy. And I wanted more money because, you're limited to this amount. So like I said earlier, you're only limited to 2,500 times 20. It's only 50,000 in trading capital. It's a decent amount. If you're not used to trading big capital, then, this is an okay amount. But I wanted more. So what happened was I did the 150K. I passed them all. I just YOLO'd those accounts, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go heavier. So I went with the 150K. This took me a little longer to get, but same difference. This still took me like about 2 weeks to get. That gave me 100K in trading capital. And I was like, okay, I want more. So after that, I did 300Ks. The 300Ks this is like the hardest one to get. I would never recommend anybody do this unless you're like really consistent and you can make this much profit goal. You'll see that the profit goal is way higher. You have to make 20,000 to pass this. Getting 20,000 on this account is not super easy unless you YOLO the account. But I would never recommend that, especially not for a new trader. So if you're a new trader and you're not consistent and you just want to get funded and start getting some payouts, then I would do the 50K. Start with the 50K first, get a couple payouts, get confident. And then once you're good with that, then you can move on to, say, the 150. But you can only have 20 accounts at the time. So if you get 20 accounts of 50K, you're going to have to give up a couple of the accounts before you move up to the 150s. And you can't have them running concurrently. Like what I had before is I kind of cheated the system a little bit. When I had the 50Ks, I was running the 150Ks to pass. And then once these are passed, I just basically tossed the 50Ks. I just canceled those and then I just moved on to the 150s. And then I did the same thing with the 150s to the 300s. So you can't have like a bunch of accounts. You can't have like 40 accounts running at the same time. You can only have 20. So that's basically how I built up from there. And I got to 20 accounts with 300K. So if you ever see my profits here, see, the thing is when you have a big account like that, you don't have to risk very much. If you look at my profits, I'm only making like about like 400 per like partial scalp. When I'm taking a big scalp, I'm making a lot more. So if you see my scalp from last week, or was the week where it was this one right here. So I made about 3,000 on one account, 1,000 on the other accounts. You're able to just risk more. So you can make more, obviously. Like if I had a 50K account, I'd probably be making like maybe $100 instead of the 400. But I can risk more because I'm on a bigger account. And these are all Apex. So these are all Apex accounts. These are my 20 Apex PA accounts. And then the accounts up here are my personal and the hedge accounts. So my personal account, I'm making about 3,000 per breakout. And then for my hedge accounts, I'm making about between 465 to 1,500 per account. So on a good day, I'll make over 20K on one trade. On a decent day or an okay day, I'm making about like 400 per account. So it fluctuates. So this right here is basically how Apex works. So this is module 1.7. I'm going to go over module 1.8, which is going to have the you'll see the differences between the two different accounts. So if there's any other questions regarding Apex, guys, I will answer your question. Otherwise, we'll move over to Tradeify over here. which is module 1.8. And I see your question right there, Viv. I guess I answer your question real quick before we get to module 1.8. So Viv is asking, why did you decide to teach? So I haven't taught in over 2 years, actually. This is my first time teaching in a really long time. Because the thing is, I just got really comfortable with just trading, right? Because I make so much profit from just trading. Like this is from today. Like if you do the math, like I really don't need to teach, but so this is how much, we'll just average of 400 times 20 accounts. That's how much profit I made for the day on Apex. If I'm keeping 90% of that, that's how much I get to keep, 7,200, right? That's more than most people make in a week, right? And here are all of the hedge accounts. So, you put two and two together, that's how much profit I make on the prop accounts. And then this is how much profit I made on the hedge account. So my account right here is 3,000. So I made 3,000 that day. And all the other accounts here made about, so we'll just do this real quick. I'll just do a number. So about average of 3,000 times 15 accounts, 45,000. I'm keeping half of that because I take 50% of that. So this is how much I'm keeping, 22,500. So you imagine that, make 22,500 plus my Apex accounts over here. So that'd be a total of about almost 30K in like one day, right? I've been doing this for about 2 years. Like for 2 years, I've just been trading. Like I haven't taught anyone. I used to teach a long time ago, but I stopped teaching because I just got comfortable with just trading. Like my schedule was so open. I would trade in the morning between 6:30 and 8, and then I would go to the gym and I would just do whatever I want for the rest of the day. Thing is, it gets boring, right? Like if you have a lot of free time like that, it gets really, really boring. You can only like it sounds great when you don't have that opportunity, but for me, like I would trade, go to the gym, and then I'd like every month I would have a new hobby. Like I was golfing for a while. I got into guns for a while. I have like a bunch of guns now, and I just go shooting all the time. I get bored. Like I find a different hobby and I get bored. The thing with me is that I really enjoy trading. So in order for me to fill my time with trading and not actually trading in the market, because what I realized from my data over here, my stats, is that I make most of my money in the morning. If I ever trade in the afternoon, I'm making money sometimes. I'm getting lucky in the afternoon a lot of times, but most of the time I'm just destroying my account whenever I lose. So what I have to do is control myself so I don't trade in the afternoon. And that's where I kind of fit teaching. So like I would trade in the morning and then in the afternoon I would teach and I would mentor. That's why right now our mentoring sessions at 2 o'clock. So I'm not feeling the urge to trade. Not that I get that urge anymore because I've been trading for like 10 years now. Like it's not, I don't feel like the itch to like have to trade, right? I'm not addicted to trading. I already know that I make most of my money in the morning. So just trade in the morning, don't trade in the afternoon. But initially before I used to, sorry guys, 1 second. My dog's here. All right, so back to what I was saying. Sorry, guys, the dogs were gonna bark, so I had to mute myself. So back to what I was saying. I didn't cheat. I haven't taught for over 2 years, but I enjoy trading. So like for me to fill my afternoon, instead of having like some random hobbies or taking some random trades in the afternoon, I would teach. I used to do that before. So 2 years ago, probably in 2020 to 2022, I was teaching in the afternoon. And then I stopped teaching because I just wanted to have free time to do whatever I wanted. Fast forward 2 years later, I'm bored again, right? So I want to teach because when you teach, it kind of like it helps you think more creatively. Like for example, if you look at the course here, I created the course here about 6 to 8 years ago. So 6 to 8 years ago, I created this course. If you go all the way down, it has all of my strategies right here from like 2020 when I used to teach. So all my strategies are right here. And now that when I do teach, it gets me creative. So like I already have strategies that I'm applying. And then when I teach people the basics, it shows me, it helps me think outside the box because I'm already thinking a certain way when I trade. I have a routine. I have a specific way that I trade. When I teach somebody and people ask me questions, it helps me think out of the box. So like, for example, I would trade basic, momentum trades. And then someone will ask me a question like, okay, well, why don't you trade this way? And I'm like, okay, you're right. Why don't I trade that way? And it helps me think like, I'm okay. When I'm trading momentum, I can catch trades in between here too. Like I can catch the sideways moves. Typically, I would only take trades down the middle right here, but people ask me questions like, why don't you trade when the market's going this way? And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll think of something. And then that's where we came up with the sideways strategies. I typically don't trade sideways strategies, but because people ask about these strategies or people ask about breakouts, I started to trade these a little more. But my main bread and butter are directional strategies because I'm a momentum trader that trades based off trend. Um, and the last part of my response to your question is, so I only trade like at this time at the end of the year. The reason why I trade at this time, or the reason why I teach at this time of the year is because a lot of people have free time and a lot of people ask if I can teach them the basics, mainly friends and family, right? So if I'm going to teach friends and family, I might as well do it in a group setting and just teach everyone that wants to learn, right? Because I only do this like once a year. So like after this mastery class is done, you're probably not going to hear from me teaching wise for like the next 6 months. So I'll probably teach from November up until maybe February. And then from there, I'll probably just do my own thing. And then I'll come back again in the winter and then I'll teach another mastery class. And then that's about it. Because, the thing is, I don't have to teach, but I like to teach sometimes when I get bored. And it just keeps me in the loop. Because, there's always going to be new ideas with trading. The thing with trading is that you never really master trading. Market's always going to change. There's going to be different type of market structure. There's going to be different things to look at. So the thing is, you always have to be on your feet and adapt with the market. And that's why I trade live every day because it forces me to be in tune with the market. Like the market's not always going to be moving this way, right? This is my type of style to trade this way. Sometimes the market's going to do weird stuff, right? Sometimes the market's going to go down, go sideways for a bit, go up, sideways for a bit, and then move directional again. So hopefully that answers your question or why I teach. I still don't teach consistently. Like I'm not planning on doing this forever. After this mastery class, I'm probably going to teach for the mastery class, and then because my main focus is on the hedge fund. Like, because you can see over here, like now that I have the hedge fund kind of running, like these accounts over here, these are all personal accounts. So this is people's actual live money. This isn't no prop firm. This is none of that stuff. This is like people's actual money. So my main thing now moving forward is instead of me teaching, I'll just add more accounts to here, right? I'll just find people who I can trade for. And instead of someone paying like $200 for, access to mentoring and stuff, I'm making like thousands of dollars a day just trading for people. And then I take a percentage of it. So I'm always about working. My main thing is like working smarter, not harder. Like even before I was trading, before this, I was an attorney. So I was a lawyer before this. I was always about working smarter, right? I had a good job. I paid a lot. It was a good career and stuff like that. But I'm making this kind of money now from trading. So like, why would I go back to the job? I haven't worked I left my lawyer job in 2019. So I've been trading full time for about 4 or 5 years now. And it's nice because I don't really have to work. So it's working smarter, not harder. But yeah, so yeah, I think that answers your question. I'll try to be here though. Like, if you like, I'm not going to mentor people like I'm doing right now in the future, but if you have questions, I'll still answer them because I like getting questions where I can kind of think outside the box, like I was saying before. But all right, other than that, let me see. One more question from iPhone. iPhone's asking how much risk per trade in lots. So for my personal account over here, where I make about 3,000 per trade. So for this, my account's down here. It's the one that made 3,000. I'm looking to make 3,000, but I'm risking 1,500. So I'm taking 6 contracts, 6 contracts per trade on the breakout for my personal account. And then for my Apex accounts, I'm doing 10 contracts. So 10 contracts for 10 points is about 500. I always get slippage. Like right here, I got 465. It's supposed to be 500. And then if I reach it for the full TP, it'll be about 1,500. Or sorry, 3,000. So I'm always going for a 30-30, but I have my trailing stop at the 10-point mark. So like if price pushes up to 11 points, retraces back down, I will be closing out for partial most of the time. So yeah, 6 contracts for my personal account, 10 contracts for my Apex accounts. That's only because I'm on a 300K account and I'm able to risk more. If I was on a smaller account, I wouldn't risk as much. So, all right, there goes the questions. The next module over here, module 1.8, is going to be Tradeify. So you guys will see the difference here um, between Tradeify and Apex. So the main difference with Tradeify is that, and I'm not going to go over the eval phase because I don't do the eval phase of Tradeify. I just go straight to funded. So the difference with Tradeify and Apex is that for Apex, you have to do an eval. So you have to make a certain profit goal before you get to that funded account. With Tradeify, you just pay a little bit more. Uh, I say a little bit more because when you pass Apex, you still have to activate the account. So you'll pay like 30 bucks to open the account, and you'll pay like another 85 bucks to activate it. So you'll pay about like a couple $100 with Apex, right? With Tradeify, depending on your account size here. So if you want to do a smaller account, you can do a smaller account. For me, I have all 150K accounts. That's where I have these profits right here. So for these, I don't have to do any evals. I just these are all my Tradeify accounts. You can see Tradeify straight to funded. So I made about 3,000 per account here, right? So this was on Friday when we took a breakout, 3,000 per account. I have 7 accounts with them. I made 21,000. I didn't have to do any evals. I get to take this, and then I get to withdraw a certain amount of profit per 2 weeks or per month. So with this right here, this is, I would probably recommend just doing Tradeify, honestly. Like, I mean, Apex is good if you can pass the eval, but Tradeify, depending on what you're trading, this is like so much easier because you don't have to do the eval phase. You'll just pay the fee. There's a 40% off right now going on if you use my code. So what you have to do is you just go to Tradeify here, or you go to that 1.8 module, click on this link right here. And then when you click on that link, it'll give you the promo. So it'll be $6.99 with 40% off. So you're gonna pay minus $6.99. You're gonna pay $4.19. This, to me personally, I think this is worth it because you don't have to go through the whole headache of like trying to pass your account. You just go straight to funded. So what you have to do is you just have to make a certain amount of profit, trade for 10 days without blowing the account, which shouldn't be a problem if you're following the proper strategy. And then you can start withdrawing profits and payouts. Again, it's going to cost a little more, but this is basically like $100 more than you would pay for Apex for a 300K account. And then you also get funded, and then you get the same trailing drawdown, 7,500. So you're basically paying $400 to have this much risk, 7,500. And then you have that times 7 accounts. At that point, you have 52,500 in trading capital, right? So 419 times 7. You basically so you pay about $3,000 to have 52,000 in trading capital. So that's the main difference. I feel like a lot of prop firms are going to move to this model. This is like the new model right now where you just go straight to funded. It costs a little more, but you're going to go straight to funded. And those are your 2 options. So if you want to do the eval, do Apex. If you want to go straight to funded, do Tradeify. I got gotten paid out in both of these prop firms, so they're both reliable and trustworthy. And then of course, if you want to trade your own money, you can do NinjaTrader. So that is basically how those differ between Apex, Tradeify, and personal accounts. If you guys have any questions regarding that, feel free to let me know. But again, I will show you how to open a demo account so you don't have to risk your own money. If you're brand new to trading, I'll show you how to open a demo account. If you're already familiar with trading, then you can open an account with, Apex, Tradeify, or you can just trade your own money. It's just up to your own preference. So there goes those modules right there. I'm going to save 1.9 for 2.1 because it's going to be in the NinjaTrader platform. I'll just show you guys the module real quick. So for 1.9, the copier that I use, and what I mean by copying is, so looking at my accounts over here. So like I said, I have this account, which I made 3,000 on. This copies to all these other accounts. So I trade on one account here, and the copier that I'm using is called Replicano by Flowbots. Basically, everything that I do on this one account here that I made 3,000 on, it's going to copy to all these accounts. So depending on the client, I will set the risk to how much they're looking to risk. Like if they want to make 3,000 per trade, then I'll put 3,000. If they want to risk 1,000 per trade, I'll put 1,000. If they want to risk 500 per trade, I'll put 500. That's what it's going to be based off. And that's the copier that I use. Again, if you're not at that point yet, this is just going to go over your head. You don't need to do any copier setting. You'll use this once you're good and you're consistent with trading. And that's basically how I make all the profits from just trading on one account. So for my Apex over here, you can see this is my main account. I made 465. I just traded on this one. It copies to all the other accounts. So I trade on one account, but it takes it on all 20 of my accounts. Same with the hedge fund over here. I trade on one account. It copies over to all the rest of the 15 accounts that I have or that I trade for. And that's what the copier is. I'll show you the copier once we get to module 2.1 because I can show you it on the actual NinjaTrader platform. So other than that, let's see, Talanji's asking, we changed copier. Which copier are you talking about? I've been using, because this is the only copier that I've used for futures. So I haven't used Social Trader since we stopped using FTMO. MT4 was disbanded here in the US like last year. So we can't even use that because we can't use MetaTrader 4. So yeah, we haven't used Social Trader since last year. We've been using Replicano for futures. Yeah, I mean, I wish Social Trader Tools was cool back then. But now that I kind of look back at it, I'm like, Social Trader Tools actually wasn't that good because it was a web platform and you had to pay monthly for it. That was the thing that was annoying about Social Trader Tools. I'd have to pay every month. Like I think I paid like $500 to $1,000 a month just to copy my trades. Using Replicano, it's like $200 and you get to copy as many as you like. I have two different Replicanos because I have one for the hedge and I have one for Apex. But yeah, I haven't used Social Trader Tools since 2023. Now I've been using Replicano. All right, so I think that's it for module 1. If you guys have any questions regarding module 1, feel free to get into the chat, or if you want to DM me after this session, feel free to DM me. Pretty much covered all the basics here. So basics of all of the tools here. Yeah, CJ said Replicano is 160 with my promo code. Yeah, it's a steal. Like I mean, it's so much cheaper because I used to pay like 500 to 1,000 a month just to use the copier for Social Trader Tools, and now I own the license now, so I can just use it one-time fee. All right, so we're all done with the basics here. Let's now move over to like the specifics. So like TradingView, NinjaTrader, and Tradovate. This is perfect because the market is now open, and I can actually execute trades here. So let's start off with TradingView. So starting off with TradingView over here, TradingView is the platform that we trade on, right? So we do everything on TradingView, basically all of the tools, all of the indicators, all the strategies, everything is done on TradingView. So back to your earlier question, Viv. Viv was asking, how does she add the indicators on the chart? Meaning the indicators that I use. So in order to add them to your chart, Viv, just click on indicators right here, go down to invite only, and then you'll have all of the indicators right here. Let's say K2 high low, K2 pivots, K2 sessions, K2 SR, K2 SRV2, trade alerts, trading stop, trailing stop, trend meter, momentum divergence, MPS levels. I try to change the name on this one right here, but for some reason it doesn't change. This is the momentum indicator. Let's see, Viv. Did you email me your username? Let me check real quick. It looks like you do have access to it. Here, let me check real quick. Here we go. So your username is Viv Samuel, right? Yeah, so it shows that you have access right here, Viv. So what I would recommend is log out of your TradingView and log back in. It just probably hasn't updated on your end, but it shows that you have access here. This is your username, right? Unless you sent me the wrong username. I'm pretty sure this is it because it looks like it'd be Viv Samuels, so it should be good. Yeah. Just so what I would recommend is log out of your TradingView. Just go up here, click this, log out, log back in, and then refresh your chart. And then when you refresh your chart, you can find the indicators. Go to indicators right here. there should be an invite only right here that shows up, and then it'll show all your indicators. It'll have all of my names right here, Kodi Kai trades, and that's how you can add the indicators to your chart. So yeah, if you still have issues, just let me know, and then I'll try to help you troubleshoot it. But I'm pretty sure that should fix it. Usually that's what the issue is. It just doesn't update on your end. So all right, guys, back to what I was saying earlier. So this is the TradingView chart. Basically, when you open a new chart, this is what it's going to look like. You don't have any tools on here. It's just pretty much plain. I'll go over the indicators tomorrow. So I'm not going to go over the indicators in detail today because we don't have much time. It's already 3 o'clock. So we've been on this mentoring session for over an hour already. But we'll cover this stuff on the next mentoring session. So next Monday. We're going to wrap up this session with just covering the whole platform. This is probably going to take a while too, because there's a lot of stuff here to cover. I'm going to show you pretty much all the tools here, how to use them to your advantage, how to use them for your analysis, and just how everything works. So first things first, I'll just go down this whole list right here. I'll just cover what's important, what I use, and then I'll just give quick overviews of like stuff that I don't really use, but they're still on here. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta close my office window. Super bright. I think that sucks when you have floor to ceiling windows. The sun is super, super bright. All right, so back to the TradingView platform. We'll start off with the top one over here. So these are gonna be cursors. They're not really, I don't use anything here except for cross. If you want to use dot, you can use dot. If you want to use arrow, use arrow. If you want to use eraser, use eraser. But for the most part, I only use cross. That's what I use for everything. Again, it's gonna be up to preference. So like whatever you want to use, feel free to use it. Going down here to the next category, it's trend line tools. So the first tool is a trend line. The reason what this is used for is to identify trends. So for example, if you want to look whether price is trending up or whether price is trending down, people will typically draw a line from here and we'll just draw it up to like right here. And you can see, okay, price is trending to the upside, right? I'm only showing you these tools because they're there, but you don't really need these because I'll show you the shortcuts. So this is the hard way of marking stuff up. The hard way is doing it by hand, right? You draw this, you're like, okay, price is trending up. The next tool here would be the ray. So it's basically similar to the trend line, but instead of having just a line, it's gonna be a ray. So instead of having to draw connecting lines, you just draw a straight line like that, which is a ray. The next tool here is going to be the info line, same thing, but now you can put info on it. So now it has the info of like, okay, this is how many candles, this is the direction, this is the angle. They'll just have more information. I don't use any of these tools. The only tool I actually don't use any of these tools at all. Extended lines, same thing. They're the same tool, but they have different functions. But I don't use any of these tools. Trend angle. If you want to see the angle of your trend, it'll have the angle right there. And these are tools that I actually use. Okay, so horizontal line. I use this to identify specific price points. So like say, for example, if I'm identifying like say the 44,600 mark, this horizontal line right here will draw a horizontal line. You don't have to draw anything, you just draws a line, you can drag it up, drag it down. This will allow you to draw lines on the chart. The horizontal ray is instead of having a straight line, you'll just have it connected to wherever you draw it. So you draw from there, and then you'll have a line right here. This is what I use to draw up liquidity zones. So this is one tool that I actually use. You can see my toolbar up here. I have my favorites of stuff that I actually use. But there's going to be a lot of different tools here that you can use. You don't necessarily have to use all of them. Here's a vertical line. You'll draw vertical lines on the chart. I use this to identify times. So say, for example, market opens at 6:30. I'm like, all right, I'll mark it up from 6:30 up until 8 o'clock. This is usually my trading period right here. This is the live session time, 6:30 to 8. And that's what I use the vertical lines for. Cross line, same thing with the vertical lines, but it just puts a cross on the chart. Again, I don't use this tool, but if you want to use it, it puts a cross on the chart for you. Parallel channels. I don't use this anymore. I used this in the past before, but not very much. So this will help you. This will allow you to draw channels. So for example, if you're drawing a trend line like this and you want to see how price is in a channel, you can do it like that. So again, you can play around with these tools. There's a lot of different tools here to play around with. I don't necessarily use this anymore because again, I'll show you later with my indicators. So I would just use the pivots. I don't really need all those tools here because now I can just look at the trend for my pivots. That's how I created this indicator. So instead of me drawing trend lines, I just have the pivots here. So it automatically draws it for me. So I'm like, okay, price is in an upwards trend. Price is in a downwards trend. So I don't really need those tools anymore because I created my own tool here to draw those lines for me. There's a regression trend tool here. It's very similar to the parallel channels. So again, right here, if you're drawing a trend line and you want that to just automatically plot for you, you can do that. But again, I don't use these tools. They're just not necessary because I don't need to have them on the chart for me. So like you can just draw this and then it'll draw the wherever the trend's at. So we got that there. Then we have the flat top bottom. I've actually never used this tool before. So I guess if you're trying to draw like bear flags or stuff like that, you can use this. Like I don't use this. I've never used this tool before. This is actually one of the newer tools. The disjoint channel, I don't know. I've never used this before either. Again, if you want to draw like a squeeze, so like basically you're drawing a squeeze pattern here for price to break out in either direction, you can use that, but I've never used that tool before. Pitchfork, I've never used this before. If you guys know how to use it, feel free to use it, but it looks like it's a trend tool. Another pitchfork tool. Again, I've never used that tool before. Modified pitchfork. I don't use any of these tools. So if you want to play around with them, feel free to play around with them, but I don't use any of these tools here. All right, we're done with that. Going down here, these are the Fibonacci tools. I don't trade Fib retracements. I know a lot of people, this is probably like a big thing for you. I'm not going to go over this stuff because I don't necessarily use it. I'm just going to, if you guys want to use Fib retracements, one way to do it is, again, I have another indicator that helps with this. It's the high-low indicator. So like, say, for example, you're trying to draw a Fib retracement from like, say, for example, right here. I'm not going to explain how to use this because I don't use this. I'm only going to explain what I'm actually using because that's what I'm master at. I don't use Fib retracements, but if you want to, you just draw basically from the high to the low, and then you look for price to retrace, and then obviously correction to the downside, right? I'm not going to explain Fibs because I don't trade Fibs. But if you want to use Fibs or you know how to use Fibs, these are all the Fib tools right here. There's so many here. There's way too many. If you use the GAN box or GAN box, whatever you call it, same thing. But I have my own tools that I use. I don't really use any of this stuff because it's not necessary for my trading. All right, so that's enough with the Fib tools and the GAN box. Again, I'm going to focus on stuff that I actually use, but there's a ton of tools here that you can use that are available to you. So it's just really up to your preference, but I don't use the majority of these tools here at all because I have everything that's automated for me. These are like patterns. So again, I don't trade these patterns because I don't trade patterns at all. But if you want to use them, this is like an ABCD pattern. If you're familiar with that. There's a head and shoulders pattern. This is stuff that I kind of use, but not really. If you're looking at markup head and shoulders, again, you can use my tools here to help with head and shoulders. If I ever see a head and shoulders, I'll show you, but for the most part, there's like one right here. So you see how you could use my high-low indicator to identify the head and shoulders. Again, we'll go over this stuff in detail when we actually go over the indicators. But right now, I'm not going to go over this stuff because it's just too much information to cover. That's not necessary. So again, these are all just all patterns. If you do Elliott waves, you can use that. Other than that, there's just too many tools here. Too many tools that are not necessary. Here's the stuff that actually kind of matters. So right here we have the long positioning tool. Basically anything with a star on it is what I actually use. So long position tool, short position tool, price range, um, horizontal lines, vertical lines. I just use all of the basic tools. I don't use any of this complicated stuff because it's just not necessary for me specifically. If you use it for your strategy, then okay, but I don't use it for mine, so it's not really necessary for me. You can see this whole platform is so robust. There's so many things to do on here. And it applies to whatever strategy you plan on applying. So back to this right here again, the long positioning tool. So you'll see me use this a lot during the live session. Basically, if I'm looking for an entry, I'll just use this as an example. So using my momentum indicator, you know what, I'm gonna go to my main chart because I don't like all these weird markups. Let me just turn off the stuff that I'm not using. Okay, so say for example, we're looking for an entry here. Like say for example, I'm looking for this buy entry here right here. There's a buy signal and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a buy. I would use this long positioning tool to identify how far I want to go. Typically my TP stop loss. And once you have a long positioning tool like this, you can double click on it and then you can put your details here. You know, depending if you're taking an entry that's about a 30-30, which is the average for what we typically use. You can use this to basically forecast where price is going to go. So depending on what your profit target is, again, we'll go over this stuff more in detail once we get to the strategies, but I'm just showing you guys how the long positioning tool works. So if you were to enter a scalp right here, this would be kind of, it looks like it'd be a pivot scalp or maybe even a breakout V3 continuation. You'd set your TP stop loss, and then once you have that set up, you can let the trade run. Like, okay, it works, right? Or if you're doing a breakout V3 continuation, you have a buy signal right here, a green candle to follow, and price goes up from there. That's how the long positioning tool works. The opposite of the long positioning tool is going to be the short positioning tool. So say, for example, right here, I'm looking for a sell. I go down here, short positioning tool, and I'm like, okay, I'm taking this for a pivot scalp. Again, I'm going to set my TP stop loss to whatever it's typically set to. It's usually going to be 30-30 for a scalp. When you have that set up right there, you just set it up. And then if you want to forecast a trade, you can let it run like that. So that's just a basic understanding. This will make more sense once you have a strategy that you're actually following. Like if you understood the strategy that I was applying right here, then you're like, okay, obviously I know what he's doing. He's using this tool to identify where his profit target is going to be at. But I'm just showing you guys what these tools are and what they do. So again, that is a short positioning tool. There's this forecast tool that you can use too if you want to kind of forecast where price is going to go. I don't use that tool ever. There's a bars pattern. Again, I don't use any of this stuff, but if you want to use it, feel free to play around with it. You can just click on it, draw it on your chart, and it'll give you like ghost charts or whatever. I don't use this stuff. It's just not necessary. Projection tool. Again, not necessary for me specifically, so I don't use it. Anchored VWAP, I don't use this either. If anything, I would just use the actual VWAP indicator, not the anchoring tool. Fixed rate volume, I don't use this either, but you know, if you wanted to use fixed range, you can. This is one tool that I do use, the price range tool. So going down to the measure, if I'm like wondering how far price has been overextended. So for example, if price is like way up here, and I'm like, okay, price might be overextended at this point, I'll measure it from here just to see how far price is pushed down. That's what I use the measuring tool for. That's the price range tool. The date range tool, I don't use this ever, but if you're trying to figure out like the date range tool, you can turn this on. It'll tell you how many candles have moved. This is basically an hour and 39 minutes. Going down further, date range and price tool. If you want to get both, price range and date, same thing, it's just combined. And that's it for the projection tools. Right here are the brushes. I never use the brush. If you want to draw stuff on the chart, you know, you can draw stuff on the chart. That's what the brush tool is for. The highlighter, same thing. If you want to draw on the chart, highlight stuff, you can do that. Arrows marker, I don't really use this, but if you want to draw arrows on the chart. The arrow tool, this is what I do use. So if you'll see me on the live session, sometimes I'll be pointing at things, and I use the arrow tool for that. So this tool here basically shows you where I'm pointing things, wherever I'm pointing things to. Arrow marker up, I don't ever use this. Arrow marker down, same thing, opposite direction, never use that. Rectangle tool. So for this tool right here, under brush or under shapes, rectangle, I use this to identify structure in the market. So again, I don't really use this standalone by itself, but if you use something like the SR indicator, again, I created my own indicators here to identify structure. I would use the rectangle tool, and then I would use this magnet tool to draw over my zones here. So this is how I use a rectangle tool. You can see how efficient it is if you have my tools, right? Because now I have structure on the chart. If you want to draw more, you can. It's super simple, right? I just do this stuff myself. I mean, it pretty much takes out all the work for you, so you don't have to actually go and analyze the chart to identify where the zones are at. You just have everything pretty much lined up automatically. So there we go. We have perfect market structure right there. If you want to draw your own structure, you can just use the rectangle tool. You can draw your tool down there. You can draw your tool up here. You can draw your tool right here. And you're like, okay, now you have your own structure, right? If you want to draw it that way. But again, I use my own tools here to pretty much do the work for me, so I don't have to actually do it. Other than that, let me scroll down a little further. I never use this rotated rectangle tool, so I don't think you guys will ever need it either. There's a path tool. I use this to draw direction to price. If you guys want to use it for that, that's all I use it for. This is all just for informational stuff. I don't necessarily use it, I don't need it, but I just use it for the live session. We have the circle button right here. I use this again just to put your focus on a certain area when we're on the live sessions. Like if I'm like, okay, this is support down here and this is resistance up here. I'll draw that, I'll use a circle tool so that you guys know where to focus. Ellipses tool, I never use this. I maybe used this like once a long time ago. Polyline, I've never used this before, but if you guys want to use it, it's there. Triangle, I don't draw my own triangles. I have my tools do that for me. Arc tool, curve tool, double curve tool. So again, shapes. Going down right here to text and notes. If you guys want to draw notes, like for example, I just use this to again put focus on a certain area. So I'll say this is like a breakout B3 entry. And I'll just put text on the chart. So that's a text tool. Again, these are just all text tools. So if you want to use them, feel free to use them. I don't use any of them except for a text tool. Maybe sometimes a call out, like I'll say this is an entry right here. Okay, this was the entry point. I'll use it for something like that, but that's about it. We're done with the text tools right there. Here is just symbols. Again, if you want to put symbols on the chart, if you feel like putting a penguin on the chart, go ahead and put your penguin anywhere. I don't use any of these tools. I'm gonna put a happy face somewhere. You know, sometimes if you guys are testing a trade, sometimes I'll use that. If the trade wins, then I'm like, okay, cool. Give me a happy face. Right? If the trade loses, I'm like, all right, give me a sad face. But that's the only time I really use these tools. I don't really use them very much because they're just not necessary. Other than that, we have the ruler here. If you want to measure price from the upside, again, you click on the ruler there, measure from the downside. It doesn't stay. It'll stay there, but if you click out, it's gone. So a lot of times I don't use this measuring tool. I use the price range tool so that it sticks. Other than that, zoom in button. If you want to zoom in to the specific area, you click this to zoom back out, reset chart view. This magnet tool here. So this is what I use if you want to draw zones on the chart. So for example, if you're going to draw a rectangle on the chart, I'll click on this magnet tool. And if you want to mark this up as a support, you can draw it like that. If you want to mark this up as a resistance, same thing. And I just use that magnet tool, so it's a perfect box. This right here is a stay in drawing mode. So if you're just drawing a whole bunch, you can stay in drawing mode. If you want to lock your chart so you don't delete anything on accident, you can lock your chart here. If you want to hide all your drawings, say for example, you draw a bunch of stuff on the chart, but you want to have a clean chart for a second, right? So you just draw a bunch of stuff on the chart. Okay, price goes sideways. Price goes sideways here, and then it comes back down. If you don't want to have this stuff on the chart, click on this button. It'll hide everything. And then if you want to delete everything, let's click on this, remove all drawings. So that's pretty much all the tools that are on here. Now that you have these tools here, or now that you have the tools in mind, I'll show you these up here. So one second, guys. All right, so up here is going to be the symbol button. So depending on what you're trading, we typically trade YM, but if you want to trade NQ, type in NQ right there. You don't have to type in there. You can just click on the box or click on your chart and type YM, and it'll come up. So you can either click up here to choose your symbol, or you can just type on your keyboard, and then it'll come up. Right here, you can use this to compare symbols. I never really use this, but if you want to use it to compare, you can. This right here is going to be the time frames. We typically trade on the 1 minute, but if you want to look on the higher time frames and do a top-down analysis, like for example, I have 6 charts here with the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily chart. I can look at the overall picture. But if you want to change the time frame, just click on this here. Click on 1 hour. It'll show you the 1 hour chart. Each candle here is 1 hour. If you want to look at the daily chart, change the daily. Each candle here is going to be 1 daily candle. So I'm going to bring it back to the 1 minute. Pretty simple. Again, you don't really have to do all that stuff. You're probably going to stick on the 1 minute most of the time. In the future, if you want to start doing top-down analysis, you can go from higher time frames down to the lower. But for the most part, we do almost everything on the 1 minute. If you want to change your candle type, so this is what everybody uses. Everybody uses regular candlesticks. Each bar right here is called a candlestick. This is going to show you how much each movement has happened per minute. If you want to use something else like hollow candles so they look different, you can do that. If you want to change them to volume candles, you can do that per volume. I never use this, but some people do use that. If you want to have bars, you can have bars there. But again, candles are going to be the easiest thing to follow. If you want to change things up and just have lines, you can have lines with markers, a step chart, area chart. This is all the same data. It's just you're looking at different, like it just looks different, but for the most part, it's the same thing. Baseline, columns, high-low, footprint. If you do footprint, it's going to show you each order per candle. So you can see the footprint. I mean, this is good, but it's, again, if you're not trading footprint, it's kind of pointless. Time opportunity. I don't really use this stuff, but if you wanted to use it, you can. Again, mainly what's used are the regular candles. And then when you want to go to the special candles, this is a common one that a lot of people like to use. It's called Heiken Shi. It's a good candle, stick pattern if you know how to use it. The thing is, this doesn't go hand in hand with the momentum, so I typically don't like to use it very much when it comes down to it. Again, that's a Heiken Shi, the Renko candles, line break candles, Kodi candles, point and figure. These are all different types of candles used for different types of strategies. Range candle, but for the most part, again, everybody for the most part uses regular candlesticks. And then if you want to add indicators to your chart, click on indicators here. You can type up whatever you're looking for. Again, if you're using my indicators, you go to invite only, and then all of the indicators will come up right here. Other than that, you have templates here. If you have any templates, I don't really save any. It's not really necessary. Right here, you can set alerts. So say, for example, you want to know when price reaches, say, 44,900. You just go to alert here. You go to 44,900, and then you can put something there like price reached 44,900. And then whenever price reaches that point, it'll send you an alert. So if you want to set an alert there, like say you have a profit target at some point, or you want price to reach a certain area before you start looking at the chart, you can set an alert right there. I'm gonna delete that. And then here is where the cool stuff happens. So if you have a paid account, you can go to replay. So in the future, I think in the next 2 weeks, I'll show you guys the strategies. And if you guys want to test strategies, so for example, we trade between 6:30 and 8, right? Right now, it's 3:29 my time. So say, for example, you're just bored one day and you're like, well, I want to test these strategies that Sean just taught me. You go over here to 6:30, replay to 6:30, and then you can start looking for entries. So you can just go back and just replay the market and then kind of see how price moved during that time between 6:30 and 7 o'clock or set 8 o'clock. So if you want to go back and just replay, you can go and just replay the charts and see how everything moved. So this is a good way to practice when you're not trading. So if you're not trading during this time and you want to just go back and practice, you can go back to 6:30 from today, play the whole day out again, and look for entries that came up, right? If you're done with that, go back to the previous day, right? Go to Friday. Like, okay, I'll go back to Friday over here. And I will go look at what the market was doing Friday morning, right? And then you just keep practicing. The more and more you practice, the better and better you'll get at trading. Go back and replay, and you're like, okay, let me look at what Sean took on this day. We took the breakout, right? So if you guys remembered, you're like, okay, I want to practice the breakout because Sean was really good at the breakout. So you're like, okay, there's a breakout for a buy here. You set your long order right there. You set your TP to 100. You set your stop loss at 50. And you're like, okay, let me analyze the chart here, look at whatever I'm looking at. Price was going sideways. Sean told me it was going to be a buy, so let me see if it plays out here. And if you're curious how it plays out, you just let the trade run. Pushes up, comes down a little bit, pushes up higher, and it goes up and hits CP. So if you're looking at the trade that we took on Friday, you're like, okay, Sean posted that at 1 on Friday. Let me see what he did here. Played out right there. There was my profit. And you can just practice the breakout every single day until you get it. So that's how you can go back and play around with the replay. It doesn't matter what time frame you go on. You can be on the 1 minute. If you want to practice on the 1 hour, you can go back on the 1 hour, go back to any date you like. If you want to trade on the daily, go on the daily. You go back to any date you like. If you want to go see what the market was doing in July, say you were wondering, okay, what was the market doing this summer? You just go back to July, replay it, and you can replay like if you were trading in July of this year. Or if you want to see how the market was moving last year, say you're like curious, okay, what was the market doing November of 2023? Like, all right, I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to go back to the same day, but on November 23rd or November 2023. You're like, okay, market was moving like this on that time. So the thing is, you're never going to like complete everything, right? The more you practice and the more that you kind of figure things out and understand how the market's moving, the better you'll get. You have years and years and years of data to go back and practice. So you have really no excuse to go back and practice. Like if you don't understand something, you'll have like so much data and so many days to go back on to practice and practice and practice so that you understand the strategy. Again, we haven't covered any strategies today. We'll cover that over the next 2 weeks. But I'm just showing you guys that that's a tool that you can use. Here's the next thing. So the next thing here is if you want to practice, but you don't want to risk your own money. So if you want to practice and not risk your own money, just click on trading panel right here. We'll have a bunch of different platforms here to log into. So when you log into your Apex account and you want to trade directly on TradingView or your Tradeify account, let me see if I have my Tradeify over here. Account Tradeify here. So I was going to try to open my, or actually, let me see. I think my login is here. Okay, so let me just show you how to open a paper account first. So if you just want to trade fake money, like not your actual money, and you just want to trade and practice, you can open the paper trading account right here. So let me just show you again. This is what the chart looks like, or let's go to the blank chart. This is what the blank chart looks like. You go to trading panel right here on the bottom, drag this up, go to paper trading, click on this, click connect. And now you have your paper account here. You can mess around with whatever you want. If you want to reset it, you can always reset it. There's just so many different things that you can do here. Like if you want to reset the account, just hit reset. You can put how much money you want in the account. Like say, for example, you're trading 10,000 bucks, right? Like you want to keep it realistic. You can set it to 10,000 bucks. If you want to have $1 million account, right? You can do that. You have a $10 million account right there. Whatever you want to play around with. Like if you want to keep it realistic or if you want to keep it, you want to keep a huge account like that, you can. Yeah, let me keep it kind of realistic. Let's do 10,000. $10,000 account. So once you have this paper trading account logged in, here's where you can really play around with things. So say, for example, you're looking for an entry here, right? Say, for example, you're looking for price to bounce from this area here. If you want to enter a trade, you can hit buy market right here. So this is how you would enter a trade trading on TradingView. You would hit buy if you're looking for a buy, or you can click on sell if you're looking for a sell. Like I said, you're probably looking for a bounce at this point. So if you just want to play around, again, you're on a paper account, so you can do whatever you want on this account. You can play around with it. You could take big trades. You can take small trades. You can take 1 unit. So here's an example. If you're taking 1 unit, and then say, for example, we're in an Asia session right now, so the market's extremely slow. So say you're going for 10 points, right? And say you want to just enter a buy like right now. Say you want to enter a buy right now, you can put 1 unit. It tells you how much you're risking. Your take profit is 10 points and your stop loss is 10 points. So if you want to set this up exactly how it's set up right here, you can either copy these numbers and put them into your parameters over here, or you can just set up your take profit and your stop loss right there for 10 points. If you want to enter market, so if you want to enter right away, you just enter with the market order. At this point, you hit market, hit buy, you're risking 50 bucks. You're in the position. So now this is a live position that's running, but you're running it on a demo account. So you can just play around with the market. If you want to take buys here, take sells here, anything you want to take, you can play around with the market. So right here, I have a position. You can see I'm at -$5. If this gets to this green part over here, where my profit target's at, I'll make $50. If this gets to this red part down here, I lose $50, right? So say, for example, you're in this position, you're just sitting there, you're getting bored, you're like, okay, market sucks. And say, like, I'm gonna wait for price to kind of go up a little bit or go down a little bit. Say, for example, right here, you're at -$10 and you're like, okay, market sucks right now, I don't want to trade. You can just click on this to close it out. It'll ask you like, oh, are you sure you want to close it out? You click this and it closes. Now you look at your stats here and you're now down $5. Not a big deal, right? Now, say, for example, you're like, okay, I want to get back into this position. You just do the same thing. But say this time you feel more confident. You want to go heavier. Instead of doing 1 unit, you want to do 10 units. And you do the same here. Instead of making or risking 50 bucks, you're now risking 500, right? So you do the same thing here. You enter again for a buy. And you're like, all right, I'm in the position now. Now you just wait. And then if you want to adjust your profit target, you can always make this closer. Like say this is too high for you and you want it to go over here. You can just adjust this. It's all drag and drop. Super simple, super straightforward. But again, you can just play around with this. This is something that you can play around with until you're ready to actually trade real money or trade with a prop firm. So you can do this all day. If you want to trade during afternoon or if you want to trade during the day, you can trade this during the day or at night. So say, for example, here you're like, oh crap, this trade's going to go the opposite way. I'll close it. Now that it's gone the opposite way, you're like, okay, maybe I want to go for a sell now. And you do this now for a sell. And you can just play around with it. This isn't your real money, so you can kind of just do whatever you want and play around with it. And if you don't feel comfortable, you're like, okay, I'm going to get out of this position. Close. And then you just keep doing whatever you like. So right now, you probably don't have anything to use because you don't have the strategies in mind unless you do know the strategies, but this is how you can paper trade. And say, for example, you're like, okay, I want to reset my account again. Go to reset, and now you're at a brand new account. So you can do this, like, you can just keep playing around with this until you feel comfortable. And once you feel comfortable, then obviously move on to an actual account. I had one question from someone who was asking, how do you log in like your with your like prop firm account? So for example, here, if I go to Tradovate, that's my Apex account right there. I'll put in my Tradeify account. You go demo, you're on Tradovate, of course, click connect. Oh, I haven't added it on. All right, so I can't show you guys how to log in, but that's how you'd log into it. You click Tradovate, you put in your Tradovate username, your password right there, and that's how you connect it to TradingView. And then once you have it logged in on here, then you can trade directly on TradingView with whatever platform you're using. Same if you have a NinjaTrader account, you can do the same thing. Yeah, that's pretty much how you would log into your account there. I don't think there's any prop firms that use any of these here. For the most part, it's mainly Tradovate. Um, yeah, I don't know anyone else. When I used to trade Forex, I used to use Forex.com and I used to use Awanda, but other than that, I do not use any of these other ones here. It's just Tradovate. Some people use IB, but I mainly use Tradovate. So I think those are all the questions there for TradingView. If you guys have any questions regarding TradingView, feel free to hop into the chat. I went over this kind of quickly, so I might have missed some stuff, but for the most part, that's like all that you really need from TradingView. Once we go over the actual indicators, I'll go into stuff in more detail, but for the most part, we'll save this for that actual week where we cover it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all that I had in store for TradingView. We have a question from Diamond. Diamond's asking, is it tough to pass a challenge for Apex? So it's tough to pass the bigger challenges like the 300Ks. But I think the 50Ks and the 25Ks and 50Ks are like pretty easy. The 150Ks are a little harder, but again, I think they're still they're manageable. The 300K though, that's going to take you a while to pass. That took me about 2 or 3 months to pass because the profit goal is so high and the trailing stop is so small. But all right, guys, so I think this is it with TradingView. Let's go to the next module. The next module is the NinjaTrader Platform. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shift the screen share to my laptop. So let me go over here real quick. All right, so we are now on my laptop. So this is what NinjaTrader looks like. Like I said before, guys, all I do with NinjaTrader is I just use this to execute my trades. Most of you guys are probably not going to use this unless you're using a PC, but for the most part, this is what the NinjaTrader platform looks like. Very similar to TradingView, except I don't use any of the tools on here. The only thing I do on NinjaTrader is I execute my trades. So once you log into NinjaTrader, this is like usually what your workspace will look like. This is the chart. This is your accounts. I only have my demos logged into here because I don't want to, or have my personal account logged into here. You can see I have 12,000 in my personal account right now. Should have been 15,000 if I took the trade today, unfortunately for the breakout, but this is what NinjaTrader looks like. So there's only one thing I really use on NinjaTrader is the copier and executing my trades. So in order to add your account, you'll probably have this blank here. What you'll do is you'll go to configure, and then you will put your connection here. So for example, if you're using a NinjaTrader account, you click on NinjaTrader here, double click it, put in your information, and then you'll have it added to your list here. So you'll just name it, say my NinjaTrader account, your username right there, password. If you're trading a live account, it'll be live with simulation. You put simulation, click apply, and then it'll be on your list here. So once you have that added on, for example, I have my personal and my Ninja Sim linked onto here. These are my accounts that are linked onto here right now. So once you have these on your control panel, that's where you can choose which accounts you want to trade. So I have it set to the sim right here. I'm going to show you how how everything kind of works. So if I'm going to execute a trade here, like say, for example, I wanted to enter, like say like a sell position here. Most of the time I use a market order to just enter the trade, but if you want to set a pending order for me, typically if I want to put a pending order here for a sell, I'll just right click where I think I want price to be at, and I'll set my limit right there. So this is my sim account. I'm gonna turn off the copier right now, just so it's just one account. And then say, for example, I want to enter a sell. So I enter a sell right there. And then it's kind of just sitting right there. This is my sim account, so I don't really care about what's going to go on with this account, but I just want to show you. So once you hit sell market, I have my TP stop loss already set up automatically for 30-30. And if I want to adjust my TP a little higher, I can do that. Same with TradingView. If I want to adjust my stop loss a little higher, I can do that too, just like TradingView. It's all drag and drop. And that's how you would exit. That's how you would enter a trade. So you enter the trade like that. If I want to move this a little closer, move it a little closer. Looks like it's about to push down, hit TP right there. So that one I made $15. Just a little play account for the sim. So that's how you'd enter a trade. If you want to enter a sell at market, you hit sell market. If you want to enter a buy at buy market, you click buy market. Right here is ATM strategy. So basically, once you log into your account right here, you'll have all of your accounts at this point. You can drop this down, and then you can choose which account that you want to use, whether it's like my actual account. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. Demo account, sim account, etc. So right here, you're going to put the quantity. So how many contracts you want to trade. It'll be like, well, I mean, if you're doing the basics, it can be one contract. If you want to do more, you can add more. And then down here is going to be the ATM strategy. So this is where you can set your automatic TP stop loss. I have a whole bunch here that are preset already, but basically you'll click edit and then you can set whatever you want. So if you want to take one contract, take a 30 TP, 30 stop loss, this is where it'll be set. If you want to use a trailing stop like I use here sometimes, you'll have the trailing stop right here. This will typically be set to none. But if you want to have a trailing stop like I do, I have it set to 10 points. Let me just click on this right here. So I have it set to my 10-point trailing stop loss. This means whenever I enter a position, I'm going for 30 points, but when price moves in 10 points in profit or 11 points, it's going to automatically move my stop loss in profit. Let me see if I can maybe show you guys an example here. So this again is on the sim account. I took a sell order there. We have price dropping right here. Whenever price drops down to 11 points, this stop loss is going to automatically get moved down in profit. So I basically guarantee 10 points. You can see how price is kind of coming down a little bit. I guarantee 10 points, but I go for the full 30 here. And this is how you could enter an order. I'm trying to like let it drop down a little bit so you can see this. This is going to automatically move down once it gets down to 11 points. You can see how many points in profit or how many points in loss I'm at right here. It's currently -2. And the market's just slow right now because it's Asia session, so we're not really going to have much movement here. But let me see if I can just move this down a little closer. So once this trade's kind of done playing around, I'm going to show you guys how to use the copier. Just want to get out of this position real quick. It's probably going to linger for a second. All right, it's fine. There's probably not going to be any movement here. All right, here we go. So it's coming down right now. I'm just going to let it go and hit its TP down there. If it ever comes down. There you go, full TP right there. So now I'm up $30. So let me show you. I mean, this again, I only use this to enter and exit trades. So I usually use market orders, or if I'm using a pending order, I'll just right click on the chart and I'll set my limit order. So for example, if I want to enter a sell order right here at the 44,790, I'll click on this right here. It'll have my pending order. And if I want to drag it around, I can drag it around. If I want to cancel it, I'll just close it out. Super self-explanatory. But here's how the copier works. So my main account is going to be the sim account right here. This is the copier I was telling you guys about. It's called Replicano by Flowbots. Once you set this up, you'll choose your instrument. I'm trading YM, of course. That's what I'm trading right now. You'll set your leader account, which is where I'm executing my trades, which is sim 101. And then for my copier, I want it to copy to my demo account. So say, for example, if I want to take one trade on my sim account, but I want it to copy to 2 accounts, I will set this up right here. Once this is set up, whatever trade I take on here, it's going to take on my demo account as well. So it's going to take the entry on both accounts. You can set your method to different types of setups. So you can have it set to exact quantity, pulled quantity. I never use pulled quantity. You can do available cash. I never use that. You can do net liquidation. I never use that. You can do percentage change. I never use that. Ratio, I use it sometimes if I'm trading different account sizes and I'm trying to do like opposite trades, I'll use ratio, but I rarely use that. Pre-allocation is probably going to be the main one that I use. So if all of your accounts are the same contract size, then you can use exact quantity, but for the most part, all of my accounts are different account sizes. So I use pre-allocation. So with pre-allocation right here, you'll just choose whatever account that you're using. And then from here, you can set to whatever contract size you want. So if you want this to be taking just one contract, you set that there. And then now it's going to start copying. You can use your ATM copy button right here. I don't always use this, but most of the time I just click it so that it'll make sure that it closes out of the position. So you can just have that enabled right there. And then I'm going to show you an example here now for entry. So say, for example, I'm going to enter this position here with one contract. And say I think price is going to, let's see, I'm going to kind of have an idea. See where I think price is. I think price is going to come down further, right? So if I think price is going to come down further, I'll enter a sell right there. I'm now in the position for a sell. Maybe move my stop loss a little higher real quick. So I kind of want to let this play through so that you guys can see how it executes. Or let me just move this a little closer just so it pulls out. And I'll show you how it executes on both of the accounts. So the copier is running right now. You can see it's currently in slight negative. And then we'll just see if price pushes down further. See if it hits the TP right there. It's like 1 point away. Full TP right there. So if you look over here at my accounts, you can see my main account, it locked in 75 because I took 2 other trades on this account. And then you can see the demo account here where I copied it from. This also locked in profit, right? So that's how the copier works. It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It's not very hard to use. I mean, it's pretty much straightforward. You just, if you know how to use it and how it works, it's pretty simple. Again, I don't use NinjaTrader for anything specific. I mean, there's a lot of, like, NinjaTrader is a very smart platform. You can do a lot of stuff. You can automate trades. You can do, there's a lot of cool tools on here, very similar to TradingView, but again, I only use it to execute my trades. So if you guys have any questions regarding NinjaTrader, feel free to pop into the chat. I just wanted to show you a quick example of like how NinjaTrader works and how to use it, and also how to use the copier here. It's really self-explanatory. Like once you actually do it, it's going to be super simple. It might seem complicated at first, but you can see here that it's super, super easy to use. It's Longy's asking, is a trailing stop on TradingView as well? I don't know because I don't trade on TradingView. So, so here's the thing: if you have it on NinjaTrader, right? So say you have your trailing stop on NinjaTrader, and then you have your copier set up here, or it doesn't even matter if you have a copier. Say, for example, you execute the trade on your NinjaTrader, but then you have it linked to your TradingView. Because what you can do is you can log into your NinjaTrader right here, and then you could also have it logged in onto your TradingView. So yeah, if you execute the trades on your NinjaTrader, then it's gonna trail the stop on the TradingView. But I don't think you can do it directly on TradingView. You'd have to just manually drag and drop it on TradingView. If that makes sense. Does that make sense to Longy? Because I don't trade on TradingView. I don't do any trading on actual TradingView. I trade on NinjaTrader. So this whole platform is where I do all my trading. And then the trailing stop follows on here, but it shows up on my TradingView. So if you ever watch my live sessions, you'll see, here, I'll go back to my TradingView real quick. Let me change my stream to this computer. Okay, so like what I was saying over here was if I enter a position and I'm still, let me go on the, okay, so say for example here, I entered a sell position, right? Say for example, I enter a sell position here, but say that I enter this position on NinjaTrader. If my trailing stop is set up on my NinjaTrader, it's going to trail it because it's going to do whatever, it's just going to show you whatever's happening on my NinjaTrader on TradingView. So say for example, price goes down right there, this thing will just automatically drop in profit like that. And it's like, all right, I'm out in profit. So I locked in 345 on that trade. So that's how it worked. Yeah, exactly. Solange said, okay, yeah, TradingView seems smoother, but the trailing stop helps a lot, so I'll stick to NinjaTrader. Yeah, no, definitely. The trailing stop helps because now that I have that trailing stop, it automatically moves my stop loss and profit to 10 points. So like I guarantee the 10 points, but I can go for that full 30, right? So you can go for that full 1-to-1, but in case price just kind of like flips on you like it does a lot, you guarantee that 10 points. So I like doing that. I mean, not everybody's a fan of that, but like I always tell people, you can't go broke taking profit. Like if you have a high win rate and your win rate's like above 50% and you just keep hitting those like base hits, like I call them base hits, the 10 points, you're gonna have a home run eventually. You have 4 base hits, you're a home run right there. Um, you can do base hits plus you can get a home run because you can take multiple trades. You can take one trade where it's a base hit, you can take another trade, it hits that full 30, and then you get, double if not triple profit at that point. So it's just up to preference, but yeah, I would recommend if you can use NinjaTrader. So trade on NinjaTrader, but you can have it logged into your trading view so you can see the trades actually execute and run through there. Yeah, exactly. And Solange said you can also double dip if super confident. Yeah, exactly. You can double dip, like you can get in, get out at that 10, and then dip right back in and go for that full 30 after that. And then at that point, you'll also get your stop loss moved into the 10 as well. So you can dip into that, get stopped out at 10, double dip into it, get stopped out at 10, double dip into it, get the full 30. So at that point, you're basically locking in like 50 points instead of just 30 on that one shot. So yeah, no, it's super, super useful. Ever since I started using it, my profitability has just been, or my win rate's been going higher and higher because I just keep locking in wins here and there. So, all right, guys, that's it for NinjaTrader. If you guys have any questions regarding NinjaTrader, feel free to hop into the chat. I'm gonna try to zoom through Tradovate real quick. We've been on this mentoring session for about 2 hours now, so I'm gonna try to zoom through this, and then I think that's gonna be it for today. So we covered pretty much all of the stuff up here: Discord, Zoom, TradingView, NinjaTrader. We're now gonna come over to Tradovate, so I can show you how the Tradovate platform works. This is the fuck. Sorry, guys. Oh, because I entered trades earlier. I was tripping for a second. I was like, why is my account showing that I'm in a position when I'm not? It's because I was entering the position on NinjaTrader. So you can see, like I was just telling you, Talanji, that the platforms they cross over. So if I enter a trade on NinjaTrader, it'll also take it on Tradovate, and then it'll also take it on TradingView. So you can see my entries like right there. You can see my entry that also happened like right here. A bunch of my entries happened right here. And then you can see my other entry also happened on my NinjaTrader if I was to copy it over. So it goes over through everything. Viv is asking if this is recorded. Yes. So Viv, if you ever want to review this, just go over here to the mentoring session and then it'll be right here. So Kodi Kai Trades Future Masterclass, day 1. And you can just click on this and you can replay it after we're off this session. Covered a lot of stuff here, so you might want to review this a couple times if there's anything that you missed. And then we'll go over into the more details the following week when you go over the indicators. So here we are. We're finally at the last module for the day, which is Tradovate. So again, you have 3 different options to trade on. You can trade directly on TradingView, you can trade on NinjaTrader, or you can trade on Tradovate. If you're using a Mac, then you're probably going to want to trade on TradingView. If you're using a PC, you're probably going to want to trade on NinjaTrader. If you're using a Mac but you want to trade on something similar to NinjaTrader, you can trade on Tradovate. This is what the Tradovate platform looks like. Again, you'll just log into your account and then you'll kind of be able to. I want to make sure I'm on my paper account and not on my actual account before I take some trades. Okay, Kodi Kai trades. Let me log back in real quick. I don't want to trade into my simulation. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm not risking my actual account. Okay, so this is what the Tradovate platform looks like. Again, I don't use this for anything. I literally only use this. Well, I don't even use this at all anymore. I used to use it, but I don't use it anymore. It works the same way. So say, for example, you wanted to enter a position here. You have a buy market, sell market button. You have your contract size right here. If you want to set your ATM, like if you want to have an automatic TP stop loss, you can have it right there. I don't think there's a trailing stop here. Actually, there may be. I don't know how this works because I've never actually used it before. Okay, it's not that difficult. It's the same thing. So say, for example, I wanted to set an ATM here, TP stop loss at 30.30. My stop is going to be auto trail. Um, so stop loss will be at 10. My profit trigger will be at 11. It only happens once. So if you want to set up a trailing stop here, it's the same way. And I'll just name this 30.30 and I'll save it. So now I have my trailing stop here set to 30.30. Say, for example, if I'm gonna enter a position right here and I kind of want it to trail, I'll just enter a market order. It's the same thing that I did on NinjaTrader. Sell market, yes. So now I'm in the position. You can see my active P&L right here. It's at -15 currently. If price comes down any lower, you'll see the changes there. So now it's fluctuating a little bit. It's -5. And then I have my TP stop loss set right here. So I have my stop loss set right here. And then I have my TP down here. If this drops 11 points, it'll move my trailing stop a little lower back into profit. Now I'm in profit about 30 bucks. Say, for example, you're in this position. You're like, okay, I feel comfortable right now. My stop loss is moved in profit already. Let's see if it, and then I'm stopped out. So it locked in. Let me add some boxes here. Accounts. Okay, so I locked in $26 on that trade right there. Again, this is the Tradovate platform. Super simple. This is how you enter a trade. If you want to enter buys, you want to enter sells. If you want to set your automatic TP stop loss, you can do it there. Very simple, very straightforward. And if you want to see your account, so you can just drag the accounts here. So basically, this is what your thing would look like. Let me so this is what your chart would look like. If you want to see what your accounts are doing, you can just click this plus button. And then whatever you want to add to your chart here, you just drag and drop. So if you're curious to see what your accounts are doing, you go to accounts here, drag it on. You can drop it on the side right here if you want. If you want to drag it lower. This is why I don't like Tradovate that much because it's kind of hard to use. And then again, right here, if you want to drag this to the lower end, you can do that. Say, for example, here you want to enter another trade. So say you think price is going to come right back down from where it's at. Say you want to enter like right here, right? You want to enter a little higher. You can just left click on the chart and you can set a limit order right there. And then when price pushes up to this point, it'll fill your order and then it can come right back down. So if you want to put a limit order, like I just said right there, I have a pending order just chilling. So if price comes up and hits it, it'll fill it, and then the target will be down here. But say, for example, you're done trading for the day and you're like, okay, I don't want to do anything. I want to make sure all my positions are off. Just click on this right here, exit at market and cancel. You can double click it, triple click it, quadruple click it. Now I have nothing on the chart. So now I have nothing on the chart right now. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Again, I don't use this platform, so if there's something specific that you want me to cover or to explain, I can tell you, but I'm going to tell you what I use. And what I use is NinjaTrader for the most part to execute all my trades. I'll link it to my TradingView so that you can see me activate the trades live, but for the most part, it's just NinjaTrader. So let's see. Let's see, Hooter's asking, do you think TV is the best if you're using one screen? Yeah, I think so. If you're just trading one account and one screen, then it's just going to make things so much easier. Hooter, like when you're trading, because so like again, right here, like I have my paper account, right? If you're just trading one account at one time, I think TradingView would be better because you just do everything on here. You don't have to go from chart to chart. Like for me, I've been doing this for a while, so it's easier for me to just go from chart to chart. Like I have my laptop right here from NinjaTrader. I have my Tradovate on this side. But for an average person, if you're just trading one screen and you have one screen in front of you, like if you're on a small laptop screen, you can't do so much on it, right? So you just want to focus on one platform. And also if you're just like getting into it and you're not really like using any of the crazy features, like you're not using a copier, you're not really using a automatic TP stop loss or something like that you want it to trail, then you can just enter your trade on here. The only thing is that you can't have a trailing stop, or at least not one that I know of. But either way, I mean, it's doable. Like for example, if you were to enter a position right here, say you want to enter a sell right here, right? Your TP stop loss, you just send it right here, 30-30, and then you're just waiting for it, and you're like, okay, I want to enter right here, hit sell, and then you're in the position. And that's all it is. So at this point right here, if you're like, it's a lot easier to close out of the position too. So say for example, you're like in profit, you're like, oh hell yeah, I'm in like profit like 200 bucks, 300 bucks or something like that. You click on this right here, and then you just close it out. And there you go, you just made 500 bucks. Now, so this is just from like what I showed you guys today. I'm already up like 891 from just my examples here. I kind of wish I traded on my actual accounts, but yeah, you can see that. So, if you ever feel, I think this is the best place to start. Just start on TradingView, and then once you get more advanced and you're ready to use like the more advanced tools like trailing stops, copiers, and stuff like that, then move on to like NinjaTrader or move on to Tradovate. But if you're just doing one account and you want to have your main focus on this one screen here, then just use TradingView because you don't really need anything crazy. And then you can always change from different platforms at some point in the future. But TradingView is pretty much good enough to cover everything. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. We covered, for the most part, we covered module 1, everything here, and module 2. We've been on this mentoring session for a little over 2 hours now. So I think we covered, for the most part, what was necessary. Again, so for the following weeks, we're going to cover, so on December 2nd, next Monday, we'll meet again at 2 o'clock. We'll go over module 3. I'll go over every indicator here. I'll show you examples of how to use them and how to use it, how to implement them into your trading strategies, whether it be my strategies or your own. I'm going to show you how every tool here works. So next Monday, we'll go over this stuff. The following Monday, we'll go over directional strategies, sideways strategies, breakout strategies. I'll go into an overview of like how these strategies work. And then we'll cover these specifically, the directional entries here. Following week, we'll go over sideways strategies. You can probably bunch up the sideways strategies with the breakout strategies for 1 week. And then after that, we'll go over risk management, trade psychology, and then trading like a business. But yeah, so I think that's what you guys can have to look forward to for the next, we'll say 6 weeks or so. But we've covered the basics. So if you guys sat in on this session, you should be able to understand how to use the platform, understand how to use the Discord, understand how to use TradingView, NinjaTrader, Tradovate. I mean, those are the main platforms that we'll be using. Again, like a lot of this stuff, I can't really teach you how to use. You have to just play around with it. So just get on the platform, open a demo account, and just push buttons, right? Push as many buttons as you can, especially on a paper account or a demo account, because the more that you play around with it, the more that it'll make sense. It's kind of like playing a video game or learning a language. The more that you kind of just flicker around with things, the more things will make sense and it'll start to click. So obviously a lot of this stuff is not going to make sense immediately, but I'm hoping that over the next 6 weeks, everything's going to come together into one big picture. And then you guys will be ready to execute trades on your own or copy our trades in a live session or apply your own strategies. That's the main goal here. So again, guys, just another reminder, if you guys haven't signed up and you guys want access to all these tools here that we covered, it's completely free right now. We've never offered this for free. And it's offered on a limited basis. So if you guys haven't gotten your access to it, I would highly recommend to get your access to it. I might open some more in the future, but right now we have it limited to, I think, about the first 30 people. So first 30 people will get full access completely free for a month. And then, maybe we'll add some more as we get closer to like Christmas and stuff like that. But for the most part, I want to make it accessible to everyone here. So that you guys can have access to everything, kind of play around with the tools. And if you guys like it, you guys can continue using it. Let's see. Angela said I have to drop, but we'll review the recording later. Thanks for hosting the session. Very informative. Yeah, definitely, Angela. It's good to see you here. Um, and yeah, so I think that's about it. Viv said this is great. Thanks. Yeah, definitely, Viv. Glad to have you here. I think this is your first actual mentoring session with us. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and he'll be back here next week for the next one. Talanji said, if you are new, I would advise waiting for the trading as a business section. Apex does not let you change the name once you've started. Yeah, I agree with you too. So Talanji just raised a good fact. If you want to trade like a business, don't open an Apex account yet because you have to register as a business when you first open the account. Um, I kind of got I ran into that issue initially when I first started trading. So I had to like create a whole brand new Apex account. And that's how I started the 300K accounts because my 50K accounts were linked to my personal, not my business. So yeah, thanks for letting us know, Laundry. Chanel said, thank you very much. This was wonderful. Yeah, definitely, Chanel. Good to have both of you guys here, Chanel and Viv. I think you guys are probably two of our newest members that are in the group. Glad that you guys found us, and there's more to come. So this is just the beginning. We didn't even cover the tip of anything, guys. We barely covered like the platforms and tools and stuff like that. Once we cover the actual indicators for next week, then we could start taking some actual like legit trades. Because right now I can't really teach you the trades unless you have an idea of like what the indicators do and what the strategies are. So right now, this was just the very bare basics, how to use the platform, how to enter trades, market orders, limit orders, etc. And yeah, we'll build on this. So all right, guys, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we will be back here. Tomorrow for the next live session. So if you guys want to hop on the live session tomorrow morning, I'll be back on here, same place, same time, 6:20 a.m. Market opens at 6:30. We'll look for that breakout, and then we'll look for some scalps after that. So, all right, guys, I think this was a great session. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow morning.